Well, we're not. Ready? Meeting will come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Today, you will notice we have 3 sound technicians making adjustments in the room. You'll notice that occasionally they are voting before they make a decision. So we're used to that. Take it away.
Okay, so we have a couple of announcements today. The first is the wrought iron painting starting in Phase A. Empire Works website is on the slide above. It's also on the Four Seasons website and the daily report so that you can follow along with the progress and when we're coming into your area. The seal coat on the final streets has been completed today. At 7 p.m. the cones will come up and we will be done for this year's seal coat process. Thank you everybody for your patience. Pickleball court conversion starts on Monday. And the lodge flagpole has been reset just in time for Veterans Day. It's now standing straight tall. One last announcement. There are no reserved tables, chairs, parking places, fitness equipment, theater seats, exercise space, etc. for anybody at any of the facilities. Thank you.
Being the new guy, I got things a little bit out of order. Being the new guy, I allowed something to get out of order, and I want to make sure that you're all aware of everyone at the table. So we have Lynn Tabernetti, our board president, Jerry Monahan, Fred Weck, Claudine Diaz, Sapphire Rhodes, Cindy Graves, Nick Alfonso, and Kelly was here. You don't see her now. And my name's Chad Creasy. I'm filling in this spot till a better replacement shows up. I work for First Service Residential. I'm the regional director. The next order of business is the consent calendar. Oh, I'm sorry, homeowner input. And we have one speaker, Mr. Allen.
Thank you. Computer room. We've got a computer room. We had a printer in there. I utilize the printer. I understand other people used to utilize it for business and abuse it. I don't know. Bottom line is, I like the computer. I get 40 to 50 emails a day. I don't always print. A lot of them are nothing but a bunch of trash that I don't care about. But I would love to see the printer, please come back. If we can have a printer in there, we can bring our own paper or set up a printer that will be like a pay. I don't know. I haven't been over to Best Buy in a while. You know, maybe it was a quarter for 5 sheets or 5 prints or whatever it amounts to. But I'd love to see a printer come back there that either we can pay or either we can just bring our own paper because I understand it was being abused. Please, bring the printer back. And also, otherwise, I'm going to have to, in a sense, to utilize something like that, I'm going to have to spend hundreds of dollars into it, buying a computer. Then I'm going to pay $30+ a month to have the thing online. You know where I'm coming from, and I know we've got the money to handle it. Thank you.
Is there any other homeowner input? Otherwise, we'll move on to the next agenda. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the consent calendar. And the first item is the Secretary's report to approve the minutes of the September 28th, 2017 meeting, and to approve the minutes of the October 12th, 2017 meeting. The financial report, the approval of the September 2017 financial statements. Approve implementation of the CD investment plan that's included in the board packet. And approval of a lien on account number BE 36310069802. Are there any comments or questions regarding the agenda consent calendar?
I make a motion that we accept the consent calendar as presented.
I second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar. All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. The next item on the business is a report on the executive session or action taken between meetings. This morning, the board convened an executive session beginning at 9 o'clock. We're allowed by law to discuss delinquency issues, enforcement matters, third-party agreements, litigation/legal issues, and personnel matters. There were 7 delinquent matters that were addressed by the board. 4 had been resolved at the time of the meeting. There were 9 hearings called. 1 member attended. 6 had resolved the issues by the time of the meeting, and the board acted on the 3 matters. During third-party agreements, the board agreed to approve the Coast Fitness maintenance agreement for the upcoming year with the condition that we review one of the service areas that's included in their agreement. There were some legal issues that were discussed by the board, and there were no personnel matters. The board did approve the additional manpower to install the holiday decorations over a week period of time rather than prolonging it over the several-week period that apparently happened last year. So we're trying to get those decorations up pretty quickly so you can enjoy the holiday season. With that being said, we'll move on to the committee reports, and we'll begin with architecture.
Hi, my name is Steve Cooley. I'm the committee chair of the Architectural Review Committee. Standing up here, I don't know how much excitement that causes for you. Sometimes it does for us, sometimes it doesn't. But we did have 17 guests show up to our meetings during the month. Mostly the guests are contractors, and in the last couple of months, we've been encouraging homeowners who have an application to come if they can, or to make arrangements to do a telephonic. That way, if we have a question, we can get an answer right then, rather than reject your application and send it back for further explanation. It's working out very, very well. We appreciate the attitude that the homeowners have in working with us. We're trying to work for you, not against you. The 17 applications, they were all approved. We had 19 addendums, they were all approved. And we had 25 Exhibit C, which is the exhibit and the notification that the work was finished. So it's going very smoothly. It's working out well. Basically, we have relatively new members on the committee. We love to have any of your input, and of course, we want to help you with your applications. If you have a question and you're a little bit hesitant, contact any one of us. We'll try to walk you through it so that you feel comfortable when you turn it in. And again, if you turn it in and it's not correct or needs correction, we'll help you fix it. We don't want to ever just say, "Good, you're wrong, go away." That benefits nobody. We have had one person that we would like to submit to the board for new membership. That's Karen Proctor. She's been interviewed and we've talked to everybody. So I believe it's appropriate at this time to just request the board to consider Karen Proctor for membership in our committee.
Is there a motion to accept Karen Proctor as a committee member to the
I'll make a
organization?
motion that we elect Karen Proctor as member of the Architectural Review Committee.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint
Karen Proctor.
Karen Proctor to the Architectural Committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Laurie Larson. I'm chair of the Breeze Editorial Board, and we're doing really well. We have 8 members. Somebody new came along and wanted to join us and actually wanted to write an article, which is fun. As always, good grammar and spelling, but there's so much more to being on the board than that. I was thinking yesterday, writing articles is really fun, and bringing ideas in is really fun. In the last couple of months, we've started the Final Joke, and we've had good homeowner participation in that. And tomorrow, the second person is going to get their $15 gift certificate to Smitty's. So hold your breath, might be you. We've started a gratitude box. You can send something that makes you feel good about the development or about yourself or whatever. Either send it to our editor or publisher. We have the information out in the front, or we have a really pretty box out in front that you can drop your gratitude list into, or maybe not a list, maybe just a comment, but whatever. So those are the 2 things we've come up with in the last couple of months to bring homeowners get them more involved with the Breeze. And, you know, writing stories is fun. Yesterday I was sitting in a meeting with the biologist, wildlife biologist, and it wasn't until near the end, all of a sudden I thought, I'm going to write an article about this. And today my head's been going, how will I start that? What view should I take? And I kind of go down this path and down that path, and I may not even end up writing it at all. Somebody else might, or might not. But the idea is, it's fun, it's creative. We get to work individually like that, and then we bring it in, and we get to work as a team. And we've got some really fun, interesting, creative people there. So come on and join us. It's really an interesting experience. We have 2 meetings a month, both on Wednesdays. Our planning meeting is on the first Wednesday of each month, and our proofing meeting is on the 10th of each month. So, thank you.
Communication?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Martha Baumgarten. I'm the chair of the Communications Committee. As you can see, we meet on the 3rd Wednesday of the month, which means we'll be meeting next Wednesday at 10 a.m. We welcome anybody who'd like to come and join. We do need new members. We have a fabulous prospective new member in the queue who's already written her first web article, which is awesome, and also an article for the Breeze. So I'm bringing you another one. We will need a new chair very soon. This may be the last time I have the privilege of addressing the board and all of you, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed we can identify our new chair very soon. We also, since it's the end of the year, our roles have changed, evolved significantly over the past 12 months, so we will be revisiting our charter and our job descriptions so that the board has something new to look at and it better describes our work and how we contribute to the community. As far as the website goes, you know what, it's out there, it's up and running. We're seeing more engagement, we're seeing people submit more stuff. Hey, can you put this on the website? That's what we want to hear. And we want to be able to, we want to have a lot of material to consider. So that's very exciting. We are working on training the First Service residential staff on maintenance, which is pretty easy because most everything has remained the same. It's just some procedural things. So they've been wonderful, and should be fully transitioned over to them by the end of the year. And for those of you who want to know a little bit more, you're not necessarily comfortable with a new website, you want information on websites in general, the computer and technology meeting will be focused on our website next week. So I encourage you to consider attending that on the 14th at 10 a.m. here in the ballroom. As far as the surveys go, our work is focused right now on a study about the lodge and combined Lodge RCN parking. Len has addressed that at some past meetings. So we are currently in development on that and moving closer. When you get that survey, you will see a lot of informational material with that so that you can fully understand the issue, potential issue and concern, and why they're taking a look at that right now. We also are developing a formalized set of guidelines regarding the survey, so hopefully that will be done by the end of the year. And so that's it. Please come and join us, see how we work. It's really fun too. So, everyone have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Community planning and transition.
I'm Ed Pauls, and I'm the vice chair. We have many projects undergoing at any one time, but we will be invisible to many of you because you won't see us dealing with immediate issues. But we do try and keep abreast of what's going on, and we do have active meetings. If you're suffering from acute insomnia early in the morning, join us. You'll find you're awake very quickly. We have invested some time setting up meetings with the city of Beaumont to discuss many issues, some of which are on the list below. We're still working on the off-leash dog area. In conjunction with that, we're looking at an easement. And that continues to be an issue of investigation for us with the utilities. We keep being asked about solar power. We continue to keep that under review for when it becomes cost effective. We are looking at shading various areas, particularly in the new building for sun. That will be an ongoing project and a discussion with the finance committee. We have invested some time and effort in looking at the expansion of the amphitheater, and we continue to have asked people that are not on the committee full time to join us, and at some point we will have to report back to you. Storage continues to be a problem, and it's an ongoing subject. The problem is everybody wants it, but there's always a question as to where it should go. And we have formed a subcommittee, again, not with people who are full-time members of the committee, who could work. And any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Emergency preparedness?
Yes, I'm Fred Weck, the Board of Liaison to the Emergency Preparedness Committee. Mike Mendoza, our co-chairperson, is working today, works full-time, so I thought I'd go over the update here. At the last meeting, they approved the updates and revisions of the Residents Emergency Handbook proposed by the EPC subcommittee. And we also plan on hosting a presentation in emergency preparedness in January-February timeframe in 2018. And the guest speaker has agreed to be present. That's Dennis Day from the Riverside County Emergency Management Division. So we finished coordination with them also on setting up community emergency response training for CERT, a training to be given here in Four Seasons in early 2018. We're also looking at two issues related to the subject of evacuation. One is over-the-road evacuation routes out and away from Four Seasons community, and also any possible lessons learned from the recent publicized issues of evacuated persons from rest homes and assisted living facilities in the Houston, Florida area as a result of the hurricanes that took place there. Last meeting, we addressed expiration dates on food and water. A future Breeze article will outline the conclusions and recommendations for residents. So when you go shopping, if I'm going to develop, have a look at the expiration date on the bottom of it. And we have our usual tip of the day. It's similar to last month's tip of the day, but you might want to have some small bills on hand, 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s that you can use rather than rely on checks, credit, and debit cards for purchases due to electrical power outages. Today is the anniversary of the 1965 Northeast power outage, in which 30 million people lost power for 13 and a half hours, and it blacked out parts of Canada as well. So it's kind of a timely to think about having some stash on hand to buy food and not have to rely on the storage generators for powering up instruments to process debit and credit card purchases. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Facilities? Good afternoon. I'm Richard Ladera, Chairman of the Facilities Committee. We had our last meeting on October 17th, and during that meeting, I was elected as chair, and Mr. Bruce Lewis, who is here, was elected as co-chair. We had been without a chair for some time. And I'd like to thank Fred Webb for filling in that regard. Some of the stuff, some of the items that are on the agenda are already been covered by Sapphire, so I won't bore you with those again. We did have new locks, the new locks and safety hardware have been installed in the summer pool area. Painting of the community has been covered, tennis courts have been covered, seal coat. The Summit Circle paving project, I'm not sure what it says up there. I was told it was going to be ending this week, but it was rescheduled. It will start on Monday, September 13th. And I'm told it should only take a couple of days to complete. Game room chairs, the survey is still active, and I'm told that they're going to be taking the survey down at the end of next week. So our regularly scheduled meeting, or next meeting, is November 21st at 8:30 a.m. And we welcome any residents to be there. Thank you.
Thank you. Finance Committee.
Good afternoon, I'm Jim Ayala, co-chair of the Finance Committee. Financial statements as of September 30, which is 9 months of activity. Year-to-date income, just over 3.3 million, as you see on the screen. Expenses, which includes our year-to-date operating expenditures plus reserve allocations, is just over 3.4 million. So as you can see, year-to-date, we're running a deficit of 137,237. Again, that's year-to-date through September 39 months. So, of course, the Finance Committee will be looking very closely to see how we do over the remaining 3 months. And, of course, how that deficit figure ends up remains to be seen. If it will even be a deficit, of course, whatever the number is going to be, that will surely come into play as we develop the budget for this next year. Priorities, the Bistro contract analysis or recommendation. Just recently, the board requested that the Finance Committee review the lease agreement for the salon, only focusing on those finance-related components of the lease agreement. We gave the board our recommendations on that. We're going to basically do the same thing again for the lease agreement on the Bistro. And again, our charge, the Finance Committee, is to only focus on those areas of the lease agreement that have to do with finance. And then again, we just make the recommendations to the board to help them decide how they're going to proceed. Morgan Stanley Financial Advisor, again, we have a substantial amount set aside in reserves, over $6 million roughly. And this is something that, and we have excess funds in our operating account. So periodically, we do have our financial advisor come in to review our investments and to give any recommendations that we can pass along to the board. We did lose a member of the Finance Committee. Unfortunately, as you can see, Chuck Jennings, for personal reasons, had to resign from our committee. We really have a wonderful, in my opinion, group of people in our Finance Committee. Everybody on the committee has their own background from their previous careers in the finance area, from different areas of business. And so collectively, I think we really have a good group. I hate to lose Chuck. But with that in mind, that leads me to the final item. We're looking for a new member. So if anybody in the audience, if you have any interest in serving on the Finance Committee, or if you know of anyone that you think would really be a welcome addition to our committee, please pass it along. We meet the last Tuesday of every month at 1 o'clock, and you you are certainly welcome to come on in and just observe and see how the Finance Committee operates, and again, encourage anybody that you may know that may be a good addition to our committee. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Landscape?
Good afternoon. My name is Vince Conway. I'm chairman of the Landscape Committee. What we have right now this month for landscaping is the cleanup on trails A and B continue, and the cleanup will include trimming and thinning of the trees. I believe they started on Trail A, and hopefully we'll get over to Trail B real soon. The Glacier Park slope irrigation is going to be changed over from overhead spray to drip irrigation. That has been approved and will start, I heard this morning, they'll start doing that tomorrow. We did go and look at Glacier Park slope this morning. If some of you have concerns, the weed abatement will begin. They'll take the weeds out. We're going to change the irrigation over. Any of the dying plants will be replaced at no charge under the warranty. All three contractor proposals for tree trimming have been approved, and trimming has begun this week. I know Artistic is out on White Sands doing some trimming, and O'Connell and Park West should be doing trimming soon. The plants at the corner of Coronado and Four Seasons have been replaced, and that corner now matches the corner of Belterra and Four Seasons that we changed over a couple months ago. Artistic Maintenance has installed the concrete borders around the horseshoe pits, and we spoke to them this morning. Horseshoe players, they're going to try to clean up the horseshoe pits after each time they're played out there. We have three proposals before the board today for review and approval. The first is O'Connell Landscape proposal to redesign the fountain behind the RCN building. There's another one from Artistic Maintenance proposal for replanting the area between the horseshoe pit and the bocce ball court at the summit. And the last one from Artistic Maintenance proposal for removal of 12 small trees on Pipe Springs and Green Creek Trail. No large trees will be touched, hopefully only those 12 small trees. The next Landscape Committee meeting will be on Tuesday, November 21st at 1 p.m. in the RCN conference room. Thank you.
Thank you. Lodge Committee?
Hi, I'm Ann Blair. I'm co-chairperson of the Lodge Committee. We don't have a chair right now. So we have several projects that we're bringing forward to the board today for approval. Can you hear me? Am I in it? One is for the new flooring for the lodge, just the main lodge area in the hallways and the rooms down the hallway, the theater, the craft room, the library, the card room, and the billiards room. And there's a proposal for expansion of the craft room that's up for approval. That will open up an opening between the two rooms, the one that used to be the old computer room, and that way it'll expand the use. It'll be able to house more people for the craft things that they do. Excuse me. And the last one is tables and chairs for the bistro conference room. It has just the fold-out tables now, so we'll have nice tables and chairs in there. As far as the theater goes, we've been working on getting more new movies for the community, and we're until the end of the year we have temporary approval to have one pay-per-view movie per week. So we're going to have a pay-per-view movie showing 3 times on Saturdays. So there'll be something new. And then if we have the attendance to warrant it, we'll go forward for board approval for the future. But we ask that everyone who's interested come out and show your support for that so we can get it approved. The first movie that we're going to be showing is Wonder Woman. So the executive summary for the lodge, for the salon survey is out on the web and through the daily report. So if you haven't looked at it, please look at it. The board has used it to determine the requirements of the community, and they put an RFP out to interested parties. Due to budget constraints, we're looking at some new projects, but we're trying to prioritize them and see if we can get some things done to update the lodge area so that it looks beautiful. And we still need a permanent chair, so anybody who would be interested, we also have a couple of openings for members. So if you're interested at all, please come to our meetings. They're on the 4th Wednesday of the month at 11 o'clock in the RCN conference room. Thank you.
Thank you. Rules and regulations?
Hi, Sherry Howard with the Rules and Regs. Right now we do have 6 members. We are working on medical marijuana. So I do invite anybody for any comments. We're just doing research and see how other HOAs are dealing with it. So we are open to comments. Next meeting, November 14th. Actually, it's at 9 o'clock, so I welcome anybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Safety?
Oh, how do we actually go behind medical marijuana and safety? Well, anyway, our safety committee, I met this Tuesday, and basically our crosswalks, they're moving forward with that. Cameras, very, very expensive and very, very needed. So we're working with 3 vendors on that. And our curb alterations, already we're moving forward with that. We've already had the trip hazard completed. And we're having a special meeting to really see and determine what we will be doing about the cameras. And these cameras will be at the courts. That's what we're looking for right now. Courts is pretty well isolated, so we're going to make sure everything is done well and safe over there. Our next meeting will be on Tuesday, December the 5th, and we're also concerned about our 911 emergency phones, and we're working on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Social and safety? Social events.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marianne Herron, and I'm the co-chair of the Social Committee. Fashion show recap. A big, huge, enormous, ginormous, whatever else you want to say. Thank you to our wonderful models. And not forgetting our singer. They gave a great performance. Believe me, it's not easy to dance down the runway with over 200 ladies watching you. But after a lot of shaking hands behind the scene, they all stepped out into the lights to great applause from everyone. We did have a slight issue with the giveaway for the shoe centerpiece. I think we did tell everybody the centerpiece giveaway was actually only the shoe, so we're items missing. 2 glass cups with votives, a glass mirror, and a table sign. So if you took these in error thinking the whole display was yours, we'd be very, very grateful if you could return these to the desk. However, after many hours of hard work, we did receive lots of compliments about the beautiful decor and, thankfully, the food. New Year's Eve, Hollywood Glitz and Glam. There's about 20 tickets still available at the desk, so stop by and pick up some tickets for this great, fun-filled evening. The evening promises good food, good music, and judging by what I saw last year, a fun-filled evening. Showing once again that us seniors know how to party. Don't forget to bring money for the raffle tickets. Those who attended the fashion show saw an array of beautiful baskets filled with all sorts of lovely things for us ladies. I have been promised, however, that we will not forget the prizes for New Year for the gentlemen. So please, lots of money for tickets. Paint night, scheduled for February the 3rd. Tickets go on sale January the 3rd. These are $25 each. We've had to limit the amount of tickets available due to the space required and also the noisy revelers after several glasses of wine. However, still bring your own bottle and make sure you create a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Tablecloths and chair covers. We want to give the board a huge thank you for these funds. I can't tell you how much this will help with our extremely tight budgets when putting together every event, while bearing in mind the cost so that we can include everyone. The social committee do really thank you. New committee members, we're still always looking to recruit new members to join us. Currently we have 7 members and we're looking for a further 6. There's lots of jobs, lots of work, lots of help that we do need. But this time we're especially looking for those who have Word or Excel skills. So please, if you just want to come along and have fun, or you want to help us with the many tasks, we'll be delighted to see any and every one of you. The date of our next meeting is Thursday the 7th of December, 5 p.m. in the RCN building. And as always, all welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Community Ambassador.
Thank you. As being the community ambassador and also a big proponent, actually, I really think everyone should be aware and honor and thank all of our military. And this is the week for the veterans. We're honoring Veterans Day, but it should be something that we do all the time. Myself being a widow of a veteran and that passed due to some complications, it is so important for us to recognize and to also know that it's not only those that served in the military, it's the family and friends as well. So please, anytime that you see one, and of course we have some Sea Cadets that work here as well, give them a thanks. Give them a thanks. Actually, that was something that I just thought about that I felt that I really must say now. For Community Ambassador Report, our meeting, we had a special little meeting with the city manager here, and some of the residents talked about some concerns that they had. It went well. We will be doing something like that again in either late January or early February with the city manager. Also, the director of Public Works wants to come and talk to us, so we will be having a meeting, so just stay tuned for that. There are 3 of us here in the community that's a special ad hoc with capital improvement project that's going on in the city. This has been going on for a while, and they're interested in what you want to see Beaumont grow, what you want to see in the future. And one of the main things that's really important to us on this side of the town is traffic mitigation with Highland Springs. So we encourage all of you to please give Beaumont City Hall a call and let them know your concern about the terrible traffic that we have on Highland Springs. Also, they're going to be putting in more businesses in this area, so let them know that you're concerned, and what they need to do is really make Pennsylvania, just make that a priority. So traffic mitigation as well as beautification is something that impacts us, but there are other people on this committee that have concerns on the other side of town. We had a great meeting yesterday with Fish and Game Wildlife, and thanks to Martha Baumgarten, we had a collaboration with the Tails and Trails, and his name is Jeff Villapeak. And so I thought it was about coexisting with the wildlife here. So quite a few of you came. In fact, we had a record turnout. We had over 140 people here. So it just meant that people are concerned. He gave us a lot of information. And this is a community that we work together, and we know that the animals are here and what to do about it. So continue having a great holiday season. And I actually wore this because it is already November. You started your Christmas, your holiday, your Christmas shopping, your Thanksgiving. The time has changed, so everything is dark. So be aware and be safe and be active in your city and community. Thank you.
Thank you. Activities Director Cindy.
Okay. I'm so glad that Anita talked about our precious, precious veterans. And I hope that you guys will take out a few minutes, it's 1 hour, 4 to 5, to join us out in the amplifier, out in the amphitheater for a really precious Veterans Day to remember. As Anita alluded to, we get to have the Sea Cadets, and they're going to be doing quite a bit of the program, which will be wonderful. There is a, oh gosh, how do you say that? Bowman whistle? Pipe? Bosun pipe. It's spelled so differently, it's quite confusing. There will be a bagpiper. We are going to have the Inland Sound chorus come and share musically, which is going to be so precious. And I hope that we can really honor our veterans this year. Just a little bit of time for a whole lot of sacrifice. So come on down and join us. Then at 5 o'clock, right immediately following, we'll come into the lobby, and we're setting up the lobby of the lodge with some really neat displays, some refreshments, and the Inland Sound Choral Group are going to serenade us while we have refreshments. So that would be kind of neat. So come on down. We'll appreciate your presence if you're able. And it's just a tender time for us to remember our guys and gals that have done so much for us. Next, holiday extravaganza show tickets are going to be put out on Monday, November 20th. Free tickets. We just need you to pick which day, very similar to our last pack show that we had. It is going to be theater seating, so you don't want to plan on eating inside the ballroom right now. You're going to want to eat before you come. Come on in, and that's December 1st. The doors are going to open at 6 o'clock, and then 6:30 the show will take place. And guess what? A secret, which only some of the board members totally remember. Luckily, I talked to one about it last night. But there is actually a golf cart parade charted to prelude Saturday, December 2nd's show. So what's happening? Tell your friends with golf carts, or yourself. You're all invited. Come on down to the Lodge Roundabout area at 4:30. Decorate your carts all up, fun and special. There's going to be an award for the most festive golf cart. And then at 5 o'clock, there'll be a judging, and there'll be an award, Smitty's gift certificate handed out. And then there's going to be a parade throughout all of the community and hitting up each one of the summit and the course. And then there could be a big announcement so that everybody can come out and see your cards and stuff. And that will be happening right before the show, which will then 6 o'clock. So that'll be an hour fun. So it's not highly advertised. It is going to be in the next breeze. You'll see it in the daily report, but be thinking about it. So as you see goodies to decorate your carts up with, go ahead and pick them up and make it really fun and special. So that'll be neat. Next, let me just give my seasonal reminder about the fact that we have over 70 parties in 4 weeks, okay, within these facilities. So all we're asking is be super patient with your obnoxious neighbors that are not realizing that you need to set up for your party next, okay? So give the gift that keeps on giving, which is kindness and consideration, and know that maybe time might get a little bit away from them. We are going to be helping the lodge attendants remember to give friendly reminders as these parties go a little bit over for the next person, the next group to set up. So that we can keep things flowing and everybody will have exactly the right amount of time that they need for their parties and everything. So it's a fun, joyous time, and we want everyone to have a great, special holiday. So there you go. There's your little exhortation on that. Finally, as most of you have noticed, the karaoke sign out on the entrance gate has had the wrong date because they changed their date. So I just want you to know, it's actually going to be on the 18th. So feel free to come on down on the 18th. It will be changed today. The handy guys have worked on it, I believe, even this morning. So you'll see the right date and you won't be confused. But come on down for that. That's going to be a great one. Don't forget that the Let's Dance Club is having their big dinner dance. You can get a hold of Corinne and Gary Stifter for that. Tickets are $25, I believe, and the doors open at 4 o'clock on Friday, December 8th. The African American Culture Club is also holding their formal black and white Christmas gala on Saturday, December 9th. Talk about a quick room turnover. Their cocktail hour starts at 4:30. They'll have a live band, a delicious, elegant dinner, and you can pick up tickets for $55 each by contacting Shirley Caldwell with the AACC. And then there's Wine Club. And Wine Club is also going to be having a holiday dinner formal that will take place on Thursday, December 22nd at 6 p.m. And the tickets can be purchased at the November 16th meeting. You can get a hold of Gracie Luna. That is it. We are going to have so much fun, so many parties happening. You guys are going to have the best holiday ever. So join in and rattle my cage the next time you're in the lodge, and we'll say happy holidays to one another. Thanks.
We're going to move into the management report, and Sapphire has an announcement for us.
Just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware that unfortunately Smitty had 3 pieces of equipment that stopped working yesterday. He scheduled repairs as quickly as he could. Actually, I see that they're doing the repairs right now, and he hopes to be back open tomorrow for regular business hours.
Some statistics. This month, we opened with 241 issues. We added another 128 issues, creating a total of 369 issues. We completed 153, with the remaining 216 going into the month. We responded within 2 hours to 334 of those issues.
No, they were cold.
We completed 47 of them within 48 hours, and we 13 within 2 to 7 days, 8 to 21 within 9 days, and 84 over 21 days. Often the ones that go longer are often architectural applications which do take time to work through. Some are projects that require bidding, and they can also slow down the process. During the month, we've been working on several open issues and requests. Many are involved irrigation or landscaping issues that come up during the month. One is a request for skunk digging and remedy. So I know that there's been traps to safely capture them or relocate the animals into a safe habitat if we catch them. There's been requests regarding bocce ball benches and various elements. There's, as some of the committees have introduced several of the topics that we are presented with. So we're working through a number of these issues throughout the month and in coordination with the board and the committees to resolve them. going to new business. Sorry, I'm not speaking into the microphone. Go into proposals. On page 149, 150 of the board packet. First is a proposal from the Architectural Review Committee as a result of timing issues between the closing and the ARC committee meetings. Many new residents and those who choose to change from cable are unable to connect a satellite dish TV systems until several weeks after moving into their homes. As a result, many new homeowners believe that the cable TV companies are easier to have connected to their home. Many believe that cable TV companies are easier to have connected to their homes since ARC approval is not required for installation. The process is perceived as cumbersome and unreasonable, time-consuming. Currently, satellite dishes must be installed behind gates in a side and/or backyards. This requirement is communicated to new residents and has been adopted by installation companies. The committee recommends that the approval form used to request approval to install satellite dish be amended as attached. It also recommends that residents be allowed to install satellite dishes according to guidelines prior to submitting the form. We recommend distributing this form and installation at the new resident orientation and requiring residents to return the form when the installation is complete. There is no fiscal impact. So there's a recommendation to adopt as on page 150, Exhibit A for installation of satellite dish.
I make a motion, we approve the proposal.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve our proposal to allow installation of satellite dishes prior to submitting the regular part request. All in favor?
Aye.
The next proposal is from the Facilities Committee. The carpeting in the lodge was installed approximately 10 years ago. The carpet does not have to be closely examined to see that it was chosen for its aesthetic value rather than its durability and needs to be replaced. Site maintenance personnel steam cleans the carpet annually, but are unable to remove the stains that are in many of the areas, the library for example. Facilities and Lodge Committee has been working on replacing the worn stained carpet since third quarter of 2016. The subcommittee comprised of representatives from the CPT Committee, the Lodge Committee, Facilities Committee, and Facilities and Lodge Committees examined various carpets and carpet style samples from 3 vendors for composition, wear, and stain resistance among other properties. The committee chose to replace the ballroom carpet first, and the Lodge Committee issued a proposal to contract with Mike's Custom Carpet Flooring for the purchase and installation of 350 yards of Shaw Contract Honor carpet and 45 yards, 1 roll of Shaw Contract Antique Bronze to be installed in the ballroom. This 45 yards, 1 roll of Shaw Contract Antiques Bronze was pre-ordered to cover all the activity rooms in the ballroom. Before the carpet could be installed, it became necessary to make repairs to the ballroom. The carpet was subsequently put in storage and remains there at a cost of $350 per month to the HOA, waiting for the repairs to be completed. As of this date, the ballroom repairs are still not complete. Shortly after the ballroom carpet request, RFQs were initiated to replace the carpet and tile in the remainder of the lodge. Recommendation and fiscal impact. As the replacement carpet in the theater, library, game, and billiards room is the same as Shaw Contract Honor carpet that is in storage and was previously purchased for the ballroom from Mike's Custom Flooring, the intent of this proposal is to use the 350 yards of that carpet and replace it by what is purchased per the current proposal. Part of the Facilities Committee charter is the general upkeep and maintenance of the buildings and grounds. This includes the facility aesthetic aspects as well. The committee would not be exercising its due diligence if it did not approve this request. The Facilities Committee recommends accepting the attached proposal for the replacement of carpet and tile per the attached bids from Mike's Custom Flooring. The total cost per the proposal is $59,889.16. In reserve balance is $55,789 total expenditure. Obviously, the impact if not approved, obviously the carpet would remain and maintenance would spend extra time and effort dollars to try to keep the carpet presentable with no positive results to show for their labor. This community is still a ways from built out. Stained and dirty carpets do not present themselves well to prospective homeowners or current homeowners as they walk through the building. So this was recommended by the Facilities Committee. It went to the Finance Committee. It was also approved by the Finance Committee on 10/31.
I make a motion, we approve the request for $59,889 to replace the carpet in the areas that were stipulated in the proposal.
I'll second it.
Okay, we move and seconded that we accept this recommendation. I'd like to offer some discussion points here. We are at the point now where the builder says within the next 2 weeks he's going to start to work in here on replacing the trusses, which will evacuate us from this room for probably 3 to 4 weeks while they do that. At the same time, we're close to the point in time where all the Christmas decorations, including the Christmas tree, are going into the middle of the lodge. I think it would be very, very troubling to have everything going on and then at that same time start working on flooring in the lodge and the other rooms that we'll need as we make everything. So I'm in favor of the proposal, but I wouldn't want to start before the new year doing anything with the flooring except purchasing the additional flooring. Because we can't start in here, we can't start out there, we have to shuffle stuff around. So if we want to amend this or send it back and tell them to draft it for January, I'd be in favor of that. But I'll leave it up to the committee as to what they want to do.
I have a comment also. What would be the cost of them continuing to store it if we're not going to put it in yet? Because it doesn't make sense to put it in right now. So will be additional costs for them to store it at their manufacturing facilities?
Well, it's $350 a month.
$350 a month? Amend the proposal.
Yeah. So if the committee's in favor, I would recommend we go ahead and approve ordering the new carpet, but not conducting any installation until after the first of the year.
I agree.
I agree.
So amend the proposal as such. So can I have a proposal to do it that way?
I recommend we do it as you talk about.
That we order the carpet, but do not do any installation until the new year.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's moved and seconded that we acquire the additional carpeting that's needed for the remainder of the lodge, but we not conduct any installation activities until after the first of the year. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Cindy.
Some pain relief. My associate here pointed out to me I don't have to read the whole page. I'm not a good public reader. So, that being said, the next proposal is from the Facility Committee for 2 backless benches for the bocce ball courts.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to approve $2,102.88 for backless benches for the bocce ball courts.
I'll second it.
Okay, let me have some discussion here also. I understand the court area is populated by two different groups. One plays bocce and the other one plays shuffleboard. And they both have benches, some benches with backs, some benches without backs so they can see the scoreboard. I can see the benefit of having benches up there, obviously, but that may require some shuffling between the two groups. And I would be in favor of going ahead with the proposal as written with the understanding that we leave it up to the groups to sort out what goes where.
That's good.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Just,
Aye.
may I make a comment?
Yes.
Just this where I do need to read this. This was submitted by the Facilities Committee. During the Financial Committee review, they did ask this be reconsidered and submitted in the future, so I just want to bring that to the board's attention.
Yeah, we're aware of that. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Do we have any board members who want to propose this?
Well, I want to make a discussion here real quick. I know this came out of the Landscape Committee, and I support the Landscape Committee as board liaison. But I have some serious concerns, and I think perhaps other board members may as well, starting precedent for cutting down trees due to one particular group's request. And I don't know that that accurately benefits the whole of the community. I cannot support it at this time, but I defer to the other board members.
This is the Pike Springs, and you can see inside the yellow ellipse there on the left side as you look at the screen, the area where it's recommended the trees be removed. And looking at it from an aerial view, it's 1 year old, it's 2016. There seems to be a lot of spacing between the trees. So, yeah, I'm having difficulty with this as well.
Are they diseased or anything, or?
No, not from my understanding, they're healthy trees.
Well, if there's no proposal and second, the motion dies.
Next proposal is on page 193. This is for, in the summit area, the planter by the horseshoe. Cost of the sum is $1,800.
I'd like to make a motion to approve $1,851.50 to bring in dirt, raise the level of the planting area, install the appropriate irrigation, and plant the area to be a mirror image of the bocce ball courts.
I second that.
Then moved and seconded to approve the landscape proposal for the planter area by the horseshoe pit. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Proposal is on page 198 for RCM fountain upgrade.
Yes, this is a fountain that was built over in that area, in the open area, and was more on the track of prospective home buyers when they were leaving the sales office to go look at their homes, the model homes on Slippery Rock. And the problem is now that it needs, to maintain it as a fountain, needs repair. And we think a more cost-effective approach might be to not spend $8,000 on repairing the fountain, but instead drill holes in the bottom of it to allow rainwater to go through, and put a attractive rock in the middle of it, so that the beauty of the fountain can remain after being acid washed, but we would not be spending $8,000 on something we might have to come back to maintain operational ability of it to spend 4, 5, 6,000, 6, 7 years from now. But instead, I propose we approve the proposal in front of us for $1,393
I
and
second.
put it in a state of attractiveness.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the landscape committee fountain conversion to a planter area. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. For those of you who may have moved in here after we acquired the Rec Center North and discontinued using slippery rock houses as model homes, those who bought back in phases A and B and went that route, you would pass from the sales office, which is where the RCN is today, right past this fountain to go down and look at all the model homes. And that fountain was kind of an eye-catcher. Once we closed off the sales office and moved it, it no longer is a high-traffic attraction for new home buyers. So that's why we're doing it. Next.
Budget committee's proposal for tables and chairs for the bistro.
I'd like to make a proposal to approve $6,033 to be used to purchase 40 Biederman wood chairs, 11 solid wood butcher block tabletops, and 114 pro cast iron base table height.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to acquire dining tables for the dining room. I would point out that this does not come out of a reserve account because that room was never intended to be a dining room. It was intended to be a room for the board meetings. We, due to the expansion of activity, the committees now use it as a dining room. So we don't have a reserve account for those. We will be purchasing a reserve account with this purchase right here. So all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Page 207. Proposal from the Amphitheater Production Group. Purchase a screen, $1,350.
I'll make a motion to approve a cost of $1,500 to purchase a screen for the amphitheater.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the purchase of a screen to be used at the amphitheater. Before we vote, let me ask a question. Cindy, or the proposals here, do you envision using the amphitheater through the winter months?
It's not going to be for the amphitheater, actually. It's the amphitheater production group, but they want to do it at the summit.
Ah,
They actually want to do it at the summit, and they actually want to do it, yes, after amphitheater concerts.
Okay.
But it would also give them more.
this is a portable screen that can be used in other locations.
Yeah, they really want to start doing it at the
Okay. Yes?
Do you have storage space for this currently?
Yeah.
Yes.
It rolls up.
Well, hey,
I know it collapses.
all the other stuff that goes with it.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So it's been moved and seconded to approve the purchase of a portable screen. It can be used throughout their facilities. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Page 211, New Year's Eve party social.
Let's see. So we need to just,
Oh, it's informational.
yeah. Oh. You don't need a motion?
No.
Good.
Can we delay this to February?
Yeah. Have New Year's Eve in February.
No. Yeah.
We got 20 tickets left. Somebody should buy them right away because they'll be gone.
Terry Fair's holiday home tour from the activities director. Is this for information?
No, this one actually needs a vote, yeah.
Okay.
I note that there's no financial impact to the association according to what's presented in the proposal. Is that correct, Cindy?
It's just mainly allowing us, right, there's zero, and all proceeds go to Carol's Kitchen, but it's allowing us to advertise it. Like we've done in the past.
I make a recommendation that we accept the proposal for Terry Ferris's holiday home tour.
I second the motion.
And moved and seconded to approve Terry Fair's holiday home tour. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next proposal is from the activities director for holiday decorations for the courts and other areas for a total request of $575.
I'll make the motion to approve $575 for a small Christmas tree recommended for the courts and for other 2 evergreen trees and replacement balls and bows and wreaths for a total of $575.
I'll second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the request for $575 for holiday decorations for the courts and other areas. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next proposal for the board's consideration is holiday hours for 2018.
How do these compare to last year's, was approved for last year's? No change.
We need a motion? I'd like to make a motion that we accept the holiday hours for 2018 as listed.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the proposed holiday hours for the calendar year 2018. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. If there's no further business to come before the board, meeting is adjourned.